Hello, what is up YouTube? We are here today chatting about other ways to make money in Path of Exile. Bank of Exile is our series, and we are chatting presently today about how to make money in maps. So I've got pulled up a quad tab here. If you want more info on what a quad tab is, you can check out our stash tab special video that goes through and details all of the different stash tabs that are available for purchase in Path of Exile. This is a quad tab that I've used as a dump tab as I've been running my last 20 or so maps. These have been tier 8 through 10 maps that I've been doing, and so what I'm going to do for you is I'm just going to speed up this video and show you exactly what it looks like and how much currency we made here with a rough estimate just from mapping. So a lot of people are going to give you tips about how to flip, how to make trades, how to look at the market, how to look at the overall landscape of Path of Exile, and then of course how to generate more and more currency for whatever purposes that is, whether or not you want to buy a particular item, or maybe you just want to craft something your own, or maybe you just want to hoard a bunch of currency because you want to be rich. That's great. But one of the things that often gets overlooked is simply mapping. Simply playing the game will bring you a lot of wealth in Path of Exile. So without further ado, let's take a look at all of the stuff that we got here and evaluate exactly how much stuff we've got.
Divination army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette.
All right, so there you go. So we've now sorted everything. We've got a bunch of uniques that we can go through and identify. We're going to check the rolls on those to see if any of them are worth anything, or if they're not, we'll simply pitch them, or we'll turn them into alchemy shards. You also saw as we were going through that process that we have a bunch of these stash tabs that are just divided up. I divide these up early into the league so that way I can do the chaos recipe early on, and then basically once I start running out of one particular thing, so a lot of the times at different leagues I run short on one particular thing. So this league it's gloves, last league it was belts, a couple leagues ago it was boots, but anyway, typically I'm going to fill up each one of these, and then once I get one of them that's full that I can't hold anymore, I'll either identify a bunch of stuff if it's later on in the league and see if any of it's got decent rolls that's worth selling, or what I'll do is I will go through and turn it in for the chaos recipe if it's really early on in the league in order to make some money. Then we also saw over here all of the different maps that we've got over here. I mean, this is 30 or 40 maps right here that we had drop. A bunch of these are good tiers. Here's that's one that I actually need to run. That must have been one that was still in my inventory. But here's a bunch of level 8s, 8s, 7s, 6s, 10s, 11s even. There's a couple in here, 8s, 10s, bunch of them. Couple of uniques, and then we've just got a bunch of divination cards as well. Some of them are going to be worth more than others, like the 3 essences could be really great. The Emperor's Luck, you never know. The Wrath is great if we can get a full stack of that. That's 10 chaos. The 6 link for Emperor's Purity, that usually goes for a couple of chaos. So just a wonderful way to quickly look and see, hey, let's check out from our dump stash, what did we get? We got plenty of maps. Like, are we going to be able to keep doing this? Are we sustainable? Are we building up a pool? The answer is yes, we are definitely building up a pool. The question, hey, are we finding items? Like, are we finding items that are valuable? Yes, you can either use them for the chaos recipe, or you can identify them and then simply sell them, put them up on the market. Like, there's plenty of stuff here that you can tweak either your own item filter, or simply tweak your own eyes for what it is that you want to pick up, or you can simply go out and download somebody else's item filter. I use NeverSyncs as a base for what I usually use, and here were our jewels. We found 4 jewels, 5 jewels, so 6 jewels it looks like. So we're going to take a look at what those look like. We'll identify those, see if any of them are great. Like, we had found one the other day that I'm listing at 300 chaos. It may not be worth that much, so I'll knock down the price, but it's a wonderful find for a discharge build, or even an elemental hit build, simply because of the critical strike damage that gets increased there with fire and lightning skills, and then elemental hit as well as discharge are both area damage, and then of course they both have the spell tags that apply to them. So That could be a really good jewel. So you never know what you're going to find with your jewels, especially if they're abyss jewels. Then lastly, of course, we already mentioned those uniques, but then of course we've got just pure currency, which you saw us dumping a bunch of it in there. There was at least 60 jewelers, as well as a handful of just chaos on its own, pure, handful of chromatics, handful of fusings over there, some vols, some regrets, some scourings, some alterations, some transmutes, even some glass blowers and some GCP. Like, it's great, right? If you play the game and if you map, you will make money. So I want to encourage you today, where is it that you are in your gameplay? Are you still in acts 1 through 10? That's fine. That's great. Keep doing that. Keep enjoying it. Maybe sort your different tabs into some different organizational methods, so that way you can very quickly progress through the story, drop stuff in your stash tab, and then when you've got a couple of down minutes, you can just simply go back and really quickly evaluate what the stuff is that you've got there. You can also list your dump tab. I know that some people do this, will list their dump tab as public. That way they kind of let the market price out their stuff. And sometimes if you list your stuff as public, simply somebody will message you even while you're mapping and say, hey, that thing that you haven't even listed yet, that you haven't even priced yet, that you haven't even taken the time yet to look at, I would like to buy that thing, and here's an offer for it. So you never know. There are lots of different methods to evaluating what you get from running maps. But again, those 20 to 30 maps that I ran probably took me about an hour and a half of actual gameplay time. Just because what you do is you just alchem and go, and whenever you have a full stash tab, you just drop it in your dump stash, and then away you go. So anyway, hopefully that's a help to you as you're playing Bank of Exile. If you're looking to generate currency, alch your maps, get going in your maps, keep completing your atlas, and then use a dump tab. Just dump everything into that dump tab and then sort it. It's really, really quick. I sped it up here, but it's about 6 minutes worth of time is all it took me to sort that dump tab. Whereas if I was sorting that stuff as I was going through each and every map, that may have been 3 minutes each map. 3 minutes times 20 maps, like that's an hour of messing around with your stash, as opposed to 6 minutes meshing with your stash and everything being priced and ready to go. So hopefully that's helpful to you today as you are looking to play Bank of Exile. So anyway, if you've got a comment, a question, or feedback for us, leave us a comment down below. As always, subscribe for more videos and stay tuned as we all try to get rich playing Bank of Exile.